death to those. I mean, if you think about it, keeping me alive will allow me to inflict death on more people. So there is a utilitarian. There's a kind of inverse utilitarian argument to be made.
Death, life, death, life, death, life, death, life. Go.
Well, Garen does live to kill,
but he's dead.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Chaosium House RuneQuest campaign. I'm Jeff Richard, and I will be your GM, and we're just going to dive right back into it again. We are in the characters, if you remember from the last session, you are in the Royal Palace of Boldhome, having given Prince Kalar Starbrow, which you guys never like to say the title for, but you've given Kalar Starbrow the news that there is a lunar army marching south towards Sartar, and it could be here in, what do we say, 8 days from now, 10 days from?
I think it's 9 days. It was 11 days when we set off.
Okay,
so 8 or 9 days.
Yeah, basically not long. And the other thing, if you remember, is the prince made you agree that you would accompany her as part of her companions. And I think that's pretty much where we stopped it. So some basically logistical things, that because you will be part of the companions of the prince, it is she arranges, or more precisely, somebody in her household arranges for there to be charioteers available for you. And the Orlanthe use chariots as well as horses or other mounts in combat. And in Glorantha, chariots have a tremendous advantage over chariots in the ancient world. And that is that under the RuneQuest rules, it provides a stable platform for spell casting. So unlike with a horse, where when you're riding your mount and you want to cast a big active spell, you've got to roll against your ride. You have a whole lot of things that you have to deal with because you're bouncing around on a horse. On a chariot, you don't have to worry about that. You're to the chariot's ability, your magic is not constrained, etc. And so chariots are actually tremendously tactically useful. They're also extremely expensive to maintain, because in order to have a chariot team, you first have to have somebody who is a charioteer, which is a high status occupation, which requires a lot of skill. And you need to be able to maintain enough horses to pull the chariots. And then the chariot itself isn't cheap. So basically, having a chariot is a sign of being part of the martial aristocracy. It's not something that ordinary farmers or herders could ever hope to do. But she makes a couple of chariots available for you all, and it sounds like of the charioteers that are there, there is Bellis and Darbast, who are your charioteers. Does that sound right from the Slack discussion?
Yep. And we agreed that Inkala would stay on her mount.
Yes. So Bellis, she is an initiate of Masticos and Vinga Adventurous. She is small, fast, and enthusiastic. Her runes, and someone should jot these down. Her runes are movement, air, and life. She is from Swenston. She is a good charioteer with a, but now comes the moment of Let's find out what good actually means in this context.
190.
That's
wouldn't that be
average.
Wouldn't that be awesome? No, that's a note to myself of how many dice to roll. Now, one of the great things about all BRP systems is you can basically roll, anything from 1 to 20, and then you multiply it by 5, and you have percentile dice. So, in this case, yeah, it's not bad. 9. 13, 16. She has a chariot skill. It is actually quite good. She has a chariot skill of 90%.
Wow.
So write that down.
Got it.
She's also got a dex of 18. So basically, she's this. I think she's got a size of probably 9 or 10. So she's quite small. Is she smaller than Gina or Inkala?
I have a size 10.
Call is
Okay.
pretty big, I think.
How big are you, Inkala?
Can't hear you, Inkala.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
We hear you
Good.
now.
Okay, good.
Loud and clear.
No, I'm at a size 13, so I'm not that small.
Okay, well, she's size 9 or 10. The other person is a charioteer named Darbast. He is an initiate. He is also an initiate of Masticos. He is a dexterous and lean guy, and very cynical, with a dark sense of humor, even though his runes are movement, water, and truth. He is from the Kinsina tribe, just to the north of Boltholm. He's also a good charioteer, and let's find out what that means. He has a chariot skill of 75, which is also good. It's perfectly reasonable. And he is very loyal to his chariot team. So, and has a loyalty of 75 to basically whatever band he is assigned to. So you guys tell me, is that going to work for you all?
I think so.
Mm.
So an Orlanthe chariot, just to let you know, is a 3-person chariot. You have a charioteer, you have and then you have 2 people on the chariot. The most typical thing is you have on there a bodyguard, and then you have, whoever is the noble there. But it's basically 2 people, and the way that they fight with chariots is you take the chariot, you get close to the other side, and either you throw weapons at it, cast spells at your enemy, or if you want to be really reckless and tough, you charge in, and you treat it just like horses, with them trying to go in and smash into whoever the foe is. But it's a big deal to have chariots, and it's pretty normal in the entourage of the prince for a fair number of the people around the prince to be riding on chariots. Other than that, it's going to take about 2 days for the prince to be able to muster up enough local warriors and soldiers and gather supplies and make arrangements to be able to march on Johnstown. So today,
not Johnstown.
Well, initially has to march on Johnstown.
Oh, and then
yes, it's going to take 1, 2, 3 days to get from here to Runegate.
I assume she.
So
I'm assuming
it's gonna
she sent out like the black arrows or whatever. Asking.
Yeah, she's sending out messengers and whatnot to the various tribal kings to muster, but it's going to take 5 days. It's going to take 2 full days to muster things, and she's got to arrange supply or have people arrange supplies, have people gather everything, figure out who's here. That's actually really quick mustering. But what it means is you have 2 full days in Boldholm before you have to march. And you're expected to march as part of Caller's band or Caller's company. So with that, I'm letting you go. It's God's Day of Fertility Week. And probably an hour or so before dawn on Clay Day of Stasis Week, you all will march. So that gives you 2 whole days to do whatever it is that you need to do. 48 hours.
Which are those days? The next 2, what are they? I always remember.
The days will be Freeze Day of Stasis Week and Water Day of Stasis Week. No, that does not include any of your significant high holy days.
I know. Or even holy days. But it is possible to lead a worship ceremony anyways with enough sacrifice.
And would it be possible if I do this on Water Day to augment with the water rune?
Orlanth does not give a damn about water.
Yeah, but maybe one of the others too.
If you have a rune, your problem is your rune points are for Orlanth.
Okay.
But you can go for Heller or something. So it sounds like we do need to, probably the most important things to me are to do a rituals if we can to try and get spells back if that's possible, A. B is to try and gather up, make sure that all our people who stayed here from before, I think of like Wahatal and that, get them to come with us. Yes, because they're all mounted, so they can all travel with the entourage, and even if they're not, main combatants, they can support in whatever way we need. Garen, are you okay going with Gina on a chariot?
Yeah, fine. The only thing was
the chariot of death.
He's got the death. I think the guy is a death. Does he have the death? No, he's got the truth rune, not the death rune.
Given I'm your bodyguard, I wonder if I'll be coming with you.
Well, the issue is if you come with me, which is fine, I would love to have you. My concern would be that then we're basically having the chariot of war and then the chariot of range, and we could do that as well. But
Garen will go where he is.
Well, one of the
if you do not want to go with me in the chariot of death, I'm pretty sure Orgo can run a chariot.
Gina, my friend in death, there is nothing I would rather do than travel with you and bring death to those who deserve it. However, I have taken an oath to Nisk, and I would be remiss if I did not say to him, it is for him to refuse my services as a bodyguard in this instance, not for me to withdraw them.
I'm not refusing your services. I'm saying that for the betterment of the group, of the team, that it would be good to have a good sword and shield on both chariots. That's the way I look at this.
Then I shall.
Nothing against Colbrast's abilities, but I think that
I shall gladly
in terms of a shield perspective, he's not been fortunate with the shield sword that he's gotten yet. Unless you wish to be that, and Colbrast.
But Garen, you're not expecting some of this stupid age stuff from me, do you?
It may come to pass that in order to bring death to those, if you think about it, keeping me alive will allow me to inflict death on more people. So there is a utilitarian. There's the kind of inverse utilitarian.
The go! Death, life, death, life, death, life, death, life. Go!
Well, Garen does live to kill,
but he's dead.
But he brings you people to like do rituals over.
He is the line. He's not on the.
Yeah.
He's on the. He is the line.
I have a headache. I'm having a headache. I have to sort that out.
Well, you can, you can refuse. You can go with Colbras. That's fine too. If Colbrat's willing to go with you, be the range chariot. If that's fine too.
Yeah, well,
Can't-
range can be very short.
I like that
And
one as well.
don't forget, I do now have a automatic killing javelin.
You
Oh,
do.
yeah.
That is
So I
attractive.
can use my shield, which I'm actually really good at using. I just couldn't use it ever since that fateful night outside of Argraph's Hazia tent.
It was a good thing.
So yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay. So, I
Anyone
mean,
who's on the chariot with me will be fine as well.
Actually, Garen, I like to be on the chariot of death, but if you expect any healing from me, I go with Colbrest.
Because I can heal
Ultimatum.
myself, so that's not a problem.
He will not bring, he has his shield. He will not bring me in this conflict of interest.
Well, I think in which case, if
You
Colbras
have
can
been
heal
snubbed.
himself and protect himself, then I should go with Nisk.
But keep your trousers on, Colbrest.
It depends. Certain magic I have depends a bit on not having my trousers on, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but close to me, it will
Okay.
shrivel.
Yeah, well, that's a risk I have to take.
And I would like to point out to everybody,
dear.
ladies and gentlemen, that RuneQuest is intended, of course, for a adult and ascertaining audience here.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
took my fertility only on 5%, but I have harmony on 85 and
Okay.
death on 95. So
So it sounds like, you know, the various charioteers, Darmast's basic approach to Colbrast and Gina, since it sounds like he is your charioteer.
Whoa,
is-
can we change charioteers?
No, I want the aggressive one. You want the reckless
I
one?
want-
That'll charge into battle.
Yeah, that's the
That's what I want.
yeah, that's the one I want. That's we have to have her because she's perfect, and she's better at charioteering. Let's be honest. I mean, Dharma
she's
is
reckless. I like
fine, but-
that. I'm also reckless.
So am I.
Yeah, she no, you're
So is
very
this.
composed and thoughtful and.
Oh, no,
never leap
Darmast's
before
whole
you
bit
think.
is, we're all gonna die, aren't we?
Yes.
See? You got a kindred spirit.
Like,
But I don't want two people on my chariot hoping we'll all die.
No, he's not hoping we're all gonna die.
Oh, okay.
He's like, there was an American animated series from the 1970s from Hanna-Barbera or something, and it had one character, and his line was, "We'll never make it. We're all doomed. We're gonna die." And you know, Darmast's whole bit is great. So I'm gonna be carrying around the one-armed guy and the Death Priestess.
Yep.
And his main question for Gina is, so you're like a Tychora Tech priestess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Holy woman. So can you like kill people with like Tychora Tech's baleful glaze or something like that?
No, but I can make them stay dead.
That
Yeah,
might be
but
useful.
Might be very useful actually, because we're apparently going up by the Delecti Marsh.
If I can get a few more rune points.
Let's
And
focus
and
on
and,
that.
and your axe there is, do you know how to use it?
Yes, as a toothpick.
We'll
But you do not want to screw with me. I dance you into the ground.
Oh dear.
All right.
You know
so-
you're on a chariot.
And then Dharma Sotherbit is okay. Well, she's kind of useless, but
I kick him into his balls when he says it.
he doesn't say anything. I'm just giving an impression of going on.
I told you, fertility 5, I can
totally
make this
drew-
happen.
I definitely drew the short.
You drew the
Strike.
magically powerful one.
Whoa. You said he's loyal, so we
He's
don't
very
want
loyal
to hear
you all.
anything about
He's
this.
going to do everything he can to make sure you all and him survive the battle.
Yeah. Good.
So how can I get a few rune points back?
Well,
I mean, I'm preparing a whole army to die.
Do rituals. That's what we're here for. We're going to do,
Yes.
each of us or whatever groups are, we're going to do rituals and sacrifices at temples to try and get a chance to lead worship for worship ceremony.
so Freeze Day is associated with darkness, and I'm willing to say now you guys going to have to make.
I have darkness on 41.
You don't actually have any of you all significant holy days during this, but and one of the things is with a big enough sacrifice, and as long as you're willing to accept a minus on your rolls, you can always offer sacrifice to your gods. So it's basically how big of a sacrifice and how much ritual preparation do you want to make on this. And so for in looking at this on replenishing rune points, the key things that you all can do, you can obviously augment with dancing or whatever. You can dump pretty much all of your magic points into the ceremony to try to get your chance up. So if you look into the rules, initiates and rune masters must always sacrifice at least 2 magic points during a worship ceremony to their deity. For each additional magic point sacrificed, you get a plus 10% bonus on your worship skill during the ritual. Magic points sacrificed regenerate normally. And then the bigger your sacrifice is, the bigger a bonus you're going to get. I'm going to give you a giant negative on your worship to begin with, because none of you guys are sacrificing on, this is not the normal day, it's an impromptu ceremony, etc. But you're going to have the advantage that you're going to be at temples, which is going to give you a bonus, and you can augment it, and you can sacrifice valuable stuff and load it with magic points. So let's
Question. I got the Aranea cult now, and I haven't really worshipped in that. Do I start just off with the base? 5 + 5? Fantastic. Okay.
But you can't get your rune points back from her. Oh, you can, because yours are with her, aren't they? Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Rune points
What-
are
what?
split for cult.
remember, it's you might start out at 20, but you could spend, first off, a big sacrifice. So looking at this, a living sacrifice, if you sacrifice a cow, a horse, 500 liters of wine or beer, etc., that's worth a plus 20%. If you throw valuable objects worth roughly in the range of 300 lunars of goods, that's worth another plus 20%. You can do less than that, of course. You've got a temple to her, that's worth another plus 10%, and you can augment. So you should be able to get a plus 70 to this.
Yeah, how much is a bonus you give us?
I'm gonna give you guys a minus 20.
Okay, that's not a big of a deal.
You
No,
gave
I'm-
them- Okay.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe I made a big mistake because I got the webbing, but I didn't really get the rune points at that point.
Did you sacrifice a point of power?
Yeah.
Well,
Then you
that's
got it.
what it's helped to drive it.
Yeah, but that was my initiation, wasn't it?
That's it.
No, you still get a spell for that.
Point,
So
automatic.
I get a rune point for that?
Mhm.
Oh,
But
so
it's
my
only for that cult. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But-
cannot use rune points across cults.
But
But
web
the
is
more
a
health you
2.
have, the more rune magic you can get.
Yeah, but then I bust the whole thing because web is 2-point rune spell.
Then clearly you sacrificed one more point of power than you thought you had.
God damn.
Well, your power gain roll is going to be a pretty good chance. You're what at?
You gotta go up.
Yeah, but I keep rolling the 90. Jeff is like, how can you roll this bad? And I do.
You're such a pity when it comes to these things. I'm sorry to say that. With your
So
little
I
bit of
wanna
power,
hear about your
how do you
guys'
want to battle ghosts?
Let's
Sorry,
get some points back.
my character has to mock her a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, please do. Please mock
Because
me.
this gives me maybe some extra points.
While you guys think through and start narrating the sacrifices and offerings that you're gonna give before going off to war, I'm gonna get myself another beer.
I want to get a beer too. So why don't we just pause it for a moment?
If we want. This is to Orlanth.
Okay, we're back.
All right, so there are sacrifices to the gods and goddesses of war going on in Baldhome as the army musters. There are sacrifices to Orlanth Adventurous and the Thunderer, to Vinga, to Humocht, to Barbister Gore, to Stormbull. There's even sacrifices to Tycora Tech, the goddess of the dead. This is what happens because the city is preparing to go to war. The mercenary bands are all mustering and gathering up and offering sacrifices. So you guys tell me how big of a sacrifice you're making, and in order to boost your worship roll, whether you're augmenting it with dancing or singing, and how many magic points you're throwing in. And I suspect what you're going to do is you're going to throw a lot of magic points to make sure it's an auto success.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Sounds pretty much like, yeah.
I told you last time that I actually would suggest to people to bring their funeral stuff with them.
That
Yeah,
is-
okay, I'll take one of your funeral bags along. It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
It's the second good example.
But why don't we just roll through
Okay.
Everybody's worship, and I'm gonna give a maximum of adding, because I don't want you guys we can work it out backwards, but I'm assuming all of you all without trying are able to get a plus after I knock it off 20%. You can get a plus 50% from all your preparations.
Mhm.
Right? That's a net.
Yep.
So plus 50% plus any augment.
So,
So try and augment and then roll your worship.
Yep. And add 50% to your chance.
okay.
Let's see.
I got a 12.
A 12% chance? Or is that what you rolled?
No, that's my roll.
Okay. Well, start with you. It sounds like you got a special success.
I did indeed.
So with that, it is a special success. So you get up to 1d6 and add 1 rune points back.
Well, I only need to regain 1, so I've got that.
Automatic. Don't bother rolling.
Yep. Wunderbar.
How about you, Colbrast?
I successfully augmented with my air rune.
All right, so you're adding 70%.
And I roll a 6.
Is that a critical?
Probably.
What's your
I
worship?
mean, it's 90. Well, I get up to 96 with the augment, and my worship is 27, so that's 76 plus the augment.
So it's a special. So roll 1d6 plus 1.
Yeah, I only can get 2 points back anyway, so I don't need to roll.
So you don't need to roll.
Nope.
Let's go to you, Gina.
Okay, I augment with a nice funeral thing.
A nice funeral thing.
And I succeed with my augment. Regular success.
So add
What is a
70.
nice funeral thing?
A nice funeral song.
Oh, a song. I'm
Yes,
sorry. I thought a
something
nice funeral
whiny
thing.
and where it crawls up your neck and screechy
glad I got
sounds,
that
whatever. Something like that. So
Okay,
people are in
wow.
tears now.
Yeah, it's just
and
all
mourning.
crying, demoralized.
Exactly. Some ghosts are fading away, dying. So
All right, let's hear your chance of success.
so a 50. How much do I get with my augment? 20.
20.
And so I'm then on a minus 20. So plus 20, then
And add 50. No, Claudia,
50,
He's already-
110.
he's already counted that, right? Just add 50 and
Because
Yeah,
I'm
50 and
assuming
20.
you guys are doing everything else.
I have a basic skill of 60.
so you have
on worship.
130. They have 130
Yeah.
skill.
I rolled a 14.
That is a special 1d6 plus 1.
I need it. I rolled a 3, so this means 4 points back. So I'm full again. Yeah.
Okay, Inkala. Are you going to Arania or Stormbull?
I've only spent Arania points, so I can only go
Okay.
to the Arania. So I have a good little trek on the way. But yeah, I'm augmenting with my special spider dance, and I'm adding. I have my necklaces, beaded necklaces. I add some sound because they make like nice wooden clackety clack sounds, which good. I think the priestess will appreciate that in the darkness.
Clackety clack.
Clackety clack, and I roll a special on my augment roll.
1d6 plus 1.
So that was the augment roll.
Oh, sorry. So
So-
plus 30.
Yeah, so I'm at 80, and I also spend 2 magic points, so I get to the.
No.
Oh.
I'm factoring
Okay.
that all in.
Okay.
I don't want us to spend 20 minutes everybody figuring out how to get there.
I'm at 80%. I could actually fail this, but I don't. But it's a regular. Yay! I didn't fail that roll. Amazing.
1d6. Add 1d6.
5, but I only had 2. So
Brilliant. Okay, so now to Nisk.
I wasted a crit, right? So it's rather
You
irrelevant.
critted?
But it doesn't matter didn't have that many points
You
down.
wasted it. You totally wasted it, man.
Yeah.
Because my worship is 93 before you add anything onto
And so you're now full of rune points.
it. Mhm.
Yeah, total fanatic. I mean, 94.
All right, but that's
Started with the 90 of game
how
point.
you spend 2 days in order to get all these bonuses. You spent 2 full days basically spending the whole time in the temples, purifying yourself or putting ash on it, dancing, singing. So we are now ready to leave Boldholm.
Okay.
oh, was one little thing. What about the ducks, people?
You don't have time to do
No,
that if you're
okay.
going
Too
to
late
do
for that.
nothing. Yeah, if you guys have got your rune points back, even though there wasn't really a whole
Yeah, I know.
there.
Yeah.
And again, when my take on this is you can always spend a lot of time and get stuff back. The only downside of it is there's nothing else that y'all can do except for meditate in the temple. You've got Nist.
Not a few days. It doesn't seem, but this is the appropriate choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is. Yeah.
And
And for me, it's very important to bring enough oil.
How much is enough? I mean, the chariot isn't that big.
well, that's the other question I have is, so let's define your band. because this is going to matter a lot. Now, in RuneQuest, in battle, the smallest unit we deal with is what we're calling a band. We could call it a file. We could call it 10. If we wanted to be all Latin and classical about it, we would call it 10 or 10 men or 10 soldiers or whatever. But for convenience sake, we just call it the band. And a band is somewhere between 8 and 12 warriors. And if you can imagine where it fits in a battle, if you guys were all on foot, this would be a file in a phalanx. You'd have somebody in the front and everybody would just line up behind. You all are mounted. So what you are essentially is, it's the same deal. It's a squad. It's a line in one of these big cavalry formations. It's about, in your case, it's, you have 5 player characters, but you have another 2, 3, 5 warriors in your group. So it's basically enough that you would make one little line in whatever type of formation that you fight in, because you're on. You guys are a combination of chariot and a horse. You're all part of a mounted formation. Now, there are key things about your band. Your particular band is held together by what is called a guiding passion. And a guiding passion of the rules are, what is it that keeps your group fighting like a team? And that has to be a passion that all of the characters share. And Claudia, before you say that you don't share this passion, you do share this passion.
Kid is up. Give me a second. My 3-year-old. Yeah.
All right, we're back. Characters are already dividing loot from the previous session. And so why don't you guys divide your loot right now? There is a pectoral, which adds 10 magic points. We have at least one character that cannot wear any chest or abdomen armor in any case. And I think she's begging to be able to use the pectoral.
That would be okay.
Fine,
I mean, it's sort of.
I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because you actually have good armor, don't you?
I do.
So that kind of comes on top of armor, or well, it shouldn't be on top of armor, or
I
why?
don't wear armor. So
No, I don't.
I can't. I don't think
Because
you can
it's
wear
a
it with armor. It doesn't make
giant.
any sense.
It's a giant solid necklace. I can't imagine it would be comfy to wear over a bronze cuirass.
And they probably get it all hacked up or something silly. The other one we had was a matrix of earrings. If you wear both of them, you get second sight, which lets you see spirits.
Mm.
It so has Gina's
cool.
name on it,
But you
but
you got to spend magic points to get it again. So it's the same.
Yeah.
If you've already got this,
Okay.
it's not as important.
So from I don't know. I mean, I have second sight 3, so
Yeah, I don't know.
cost me also magic points. So maybe it's for somebody else.
I think it also had the fertility rune on them, Gina. That's not good.
In fact,
I
that's
have-
my answer when I don't want to get something. It's got the fertility rune on it.
Yeah, maybe we
I have
should.
fertility 5. So sorry.
I mean, it sounds very useful, obviously.
Why don't you keep it?
You can put
You're a
them
pirate.
on
You can wear
full
your own.
breast.
I'm a pirate. I can wear anything. Come on.
Yes, of course.
Okay,
I mean, you
I'll-
have still 2 ears, so it's fine.
I mean, the thing is, I've always wondered, when could I, engage in some spirit combat, which I'm actually quite proficient at, but I just don't see the damn thing. This would be really, really useful.
Perfect.
It's good for looking at spirits if we get
All
if we're in
that.
combat and they're whirling about and we don't know what to do.
All right, so Cobras, is taking the earrings.
Yep.
There we are. We're done.
Okay. So Calor's army will march north towards Johnstown on the Royal Road. And it takes about a day to get to Johnstown. And you know, your group of, you've got how many people are in your band?
I think Orgar is coming, so I would say 11.
Orgar is not actually going to be part of the band. He's
The
gonna
band
be
is
a
10?
follower.
Oh,
Okay?
he's one of the how you call them in
Camp
English?
followers.
The camp followers, exactly. He is following with my tent and my brush and my hair oil and my makeup.
And all the
And
dead.
interestingly, Filchar is likely also a camp follower.
Yeah. Well, you don't really want him beside you in a battle, to be honest.
No.
No. All right, so let's kind of walk through what your band is. So your band is the 10 warriors of your group.
9 warriors.
Or 9 warriors.
Yeah.
9 warriors plus Gina, or
I'm counting Gina in that. So there's
9.
8 there. So 8 warriors plus Gina.
Okay. And going into this, so the basic unit in any Gloranthan army is a band, a unit of 6 to 12 warriors or soldiers that share supplies. Does this sound right?
Yep.
March together and fight together. They are often linked by ties of kinship or other strong loyalty. Now, all the adventurers belong to your band, because otherwise, why would you be together in a group?
Yep.
And the band leader, sometimes called a 10-man or a 4-fighter, makes tactical decisions for the whole group. Who is your band leader? It's pretty clear who it is, but I just want everybody to say who it is.
Nisk.
Yeah. Nisk is clearly the band leader in this group.
Not Garen?
No, Nisk's the leader.
All right. And so the role of the leader on this is you're the one who basically says where to charge and where to go and what to do on this. And this isn't like an officer. This is more like, you know, he's like the sergeant in this, if you can kind of imagine that comparison. Multiple bands are then all linked together in larger units. And these larger units might be linked together to form regiments and whatnot. But at the end of the day, the ones that you all are fighting with, marching with, and eating with are each other. And your guy, every band has a guiding passion. And this is the mutual passion that motivates everybody to be willing to do this, you know, to march together, to eat together, to fight together. Now, in most bands, it's arranged on lines of kinship. So the most common would be loyalty to the same clan or loyalty to the same tribe. But that's not your band. Your band is only 2 of you belong to the same clan or tribe, and the rest of you all are all over the place. So the one passion that every one of your characters has in common is loyalty to Argrath White Bull. So either to Argrath or to White Bull, whatever identity you have on it. And I have worked out what the average it is for your whole group, and it comes out to 75. That's a really good number. You all have several completely fanatical characters in terms of their loyalty to the White Bull. Now, the guiding passion is independent of any of your characters. All right. So when we talk about the guiding passion skill, that's not your character rolling the passion. That's the number for the unit itself.
Yep.
And I want, because Nisk is the band leader, he gets to be stuck with the paperwork for the band and needs to write down that the guiding passion for the band is 75%. Now, in battle, that guiding passion is basically that's your unit's morale. And as you do things in battle, it's going to go down a lot. If you try to fight or take certain types of actions in the battle collectively, you're going to spend your guiding passion to do it. And when your guiding passion goes down beyond a certain point, you're going to want to go back and not be in the front line and have your group stop what it's doing for a while. And we'll walk this through as we get closer to the battle. But basically, the fact that you have a really good, strong guiding passion means you're able to do a lot in a battle. And the once in battle, the way things basically work is there'll be a top level. Battle is organized into a number of turns based on the size of the battle. And a turn is an abstract period of time. But you know, for game rules, we consider it to be about 15 minutes. It's about the amount of time that so your rune spell will last the whole turn. But in terms of combat rounds, it may only be 1 combat round, 2 combat rounds, 3 combat rounds. We're dealing with kind of an abstract thing.
Yep.
And for each battle turn, you as a group are going to kind of decide what you do, whether you all are active in the battle, whether you are at the rear of your lines trying to recover, or whether you're trying to, whether you're able to select an encounter or an opportunity. And again, it'll all make more sense in a moment. But basically, the big picture of it is that to do anything in terms of what your group does in the battle, the most important skill is battle. And so this gets a little bit interesting here. What is Nisk's battle and what is Kolbrast's battle?
Well, all in all, it's 95.
So Kolbrast is what?
Mine is certainly not that. Mine is 69.
So now there's an argument to be said that actually Nisk should let himself be a figurehead and actually let Kolbrast make all the actual decisions as to what goes on in the battle.
Perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, that's pretty sure that's the way we always did it.
I'm the, you know, we have the sword, which is, we have a shield, we have the, you know, he can be the brains and I'm the beauty. I mean, it's easy.
It's good leadership and delegating to the right people.
He brains without trousers.
Yeah.
So actually, Kolbrast
has
I'm sorry.
Trousers, no problem.
Brains without trousers, yeah.
I'm gonna say that
That was the hero quest. Yeah.
Kolbrast is the band leader. You're the one who actually makes all the tactical decisions in the group.
See, that's why I'm on your chariot.
You can heal him.
Chosen wisely.
No, I cannot heal.
I can heal, so no problem.
See, that's why I'm on his chariot.
So
you don't
if
want
we're
to be
all
healed
with this, I'm gonna have us continue marching within the have the army continue to march. But if you have any questions about how your file works, you all ride together, you eat together, you sleep together, and you're expected to fight together. And Cobras knows what to do. With a 95% battle, you absolutely know you've done this all before.
Yeah, many times. And actually, it feels almost like home again.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the most, the most comfortable Colbrest has felt in a long time.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's still not much water around, but at least, it's sort of, yeah, the ebb and flow of battle is a good substitute.
Well, the ebb and flow of battle is something that this is something you are extremely comfortable with. You know where to place people in the battle. You know how to move around a battlefield. You have a feel for tactics. Does anybody else have a battle even above 60?
Yeah, I do. My battle is 70 odd, I think.
I actually have a battle of 30.
Wow.
Where to stay when you get the bodies.
My battle is exactly
This is
70.
easy.
Okay.
It's important to know where the battle is still happening and where not, when you deal with the dead.
Where's the best place for corpses?
Yeah, that's the reason I have a battle on 30.
You can't just stop and ask someone, on the way. So.
No.
Well, now the other thing is that Calor's army consists of about 50 people that are her friends, and you guys are awkwardly in that group.
No.
And the group that's called the Friends this is the people that are around Calor Starbrow, fight in her group, and they are generally considered to be the most overall, that's supposed to be the most elite group in any army, because you're essentially part of the bodyguards of the prince, even if you won't even call her the prince and have no loyalty to her whatsoever, etc. But there's about 50 of them. There are 200 well-equipped foot soldiers that are equipped by the guilds of Boldholm, and they form another group. All of Keller's friends are mounted. All of the guild's folk are on foot. Also on foot, there are about 500 people from the Keldon tribe, that is Keller's own tribe. And then there's 600 from the Kinsina tribe. That's another allied tribe of Keller's. And 450 from the Colbrea tribe. And in terms of cavalry, there's about 100 light cavalry, another 100 heavy cavalry, and about 200 mixed cavalry. So, and one of the big questions is hoping that's a very weak army so far. That's maybe, about 2,200, 2,300 warriors. And there is the big question is whether the Milani tribe and the Kolimar tribe will have mustered. And there's questions from the prince of whether for you all, because Nisk and Garin are Kolimar, of whether the Kolimar will muster.
Well, we sent word to them on the way, coming to you, about what was going to happen, but we are not Leica, and we cannot make that decision. No one can doubt Leica's bravery.
She says no one can doubt her bravery. And on the march, I mean, the thing about Calor is she also has a battle skill. She is clearly Colbrast. She has also clearly fought in a lot of battles, and this isn't her first time in this rodeo.
Yeah,
I don't know if that
that's
affects.
good to know. And it certainly probably changes Cobra's perception of her a bit.
She is, it's clear that most of her friends, I mean, first off, her group of friends around her is fairly small, given that 10 of them are you all.
And a lot of them are new.
A lot of them are new. And so she's in the position where she actually has to do a lot of stuff that you would expect her lieutenants to be doing for her. She doesn't seem to have a lot of lieutenants. So even though she herself knows what to do, it's she doesn't have a whole lot of people around her that are equally familiar with battle as she is.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's not good.
But she also seems to be aware of that. And as a result, even though, she is not buddy with you all. She probably does not like you all and doesn't even particularly trust you all. Nonetheless, she certainly does not ignore you all, and does not ignore your input and advice. So, when the army gets to Johnstown, you're camped with her.
It's a bit awkward.
And in Johnstown, she gets news that the Milani Queen has agreed, the queen of the Milani tribe has agreed to raise her army and will march to Runegate as well. So, and I want you kind of imagine how this army is on the march. It's several kilometers long as it marches, even at only a little bit over 2,000 people. It's still more than 2 kilometers long when it marches.
Well, there's supplies and everything. That's just the warriors, right? There's probably a lot of camp followers and other groups.
There's all sorts of folk, and I just kind of, you guys get to Johnstown on the first day, and the second day brings you from Johnstown and has you all marched on to Apple Lane, and actually ends up with your army of 2-something thousand people camping, setting up camp outside of Apple Lane, and has your characters. So, Garen, you're familiar with Apple Lane. Apple Lane is the home of the Tin Inn. It's got a Eularia temple. It is this little hamlet, and this time as part of Caller's group, you all get to take over Apple Lane entirely. There's a Kolimar, there's a Thane from the Kolimar tribe here, who is they're trying to handle stuff. She's in charge of the village and making accommodations for Caller's companions. And meanwhile, the rest of the army and the tribes are camping all over the place and setting up tents and whatnot. Let me know if there's anything in particular your characters want to do, or are you just following around in the prince's company?
Probably want to find more info about if there's any word from Leica. That's certainly something you could ask the Thane.
Okay, well, the Thane will definitely, she'll, she says that the clans are mustering. I was told to make sure that there is food and supply for the army. You're there with Kaller. I mean, you two are marked as Kolimar, but she has no idea who you are. And she's from the local Thane, is from a different clan as yours, and you've been in exile your whole life, so she has no idea who you are.
Just killed a dragon.
Yeah, but you
That story's probably already come.
Oh yeah, that has been. You're the dragon. So I want you to roll against your reputation.
Okay. That's a 20.
Heard of us.
So yes.
Garen, roll against your reputation.
Nope, 93.
Roll against your reputation at a -20.
What? Okay. Well, not at -20, no.
All right, the local Thane. The local Thane, who is actually the pre-gen character from RuneQuest, Vasana, who is the Thane of Apple Lane, is she not, Claudia?
Is she still there? Is she not going on to Australia?
No.
Not at this point.
So Yanis is also there?
No, not there. She's at the temple. The local Thane is, you know, she says she wants to know that first off, she's impressed because he killed a dragon. That's a pretty big deal. And but also is curious there on what your assessment of the prince's forces are, and what is your assessment? She's got about 2,100, 2,200 combatants with her.
Well, I'm not gonna. I guess I'm trying to be a little diplomatic here. I'm going to say that this is not an army that Argrath would bring.
No.
Say.
Oh, diplomatic indeed.
Mhm.
Well done, Nisk. We're very proud of you.
But Kaller is doing everything she can to muster to face it. I think.
Well, the local Thane has the tattoo of the white bull.
Oh, there we go.
So,
And I'll say that. I said that we are here because Argrath asked us to come to Sarder, and we will help because it is everybody's duty to fight chaos.
Well,
I'm not going to say it's, Kaller's skill is in battle. However, her resources are not as strong as it would be good. But she inflicted that partially on herself. And that's why we're here to help.
She asks if you fight for the prince or for the Kolimar.
I fight for Argrath.
White bull.
The white bull.
Well, I mean, she'll definitely make sure that you all have accommodations, booze, and food. She's a little bit worried about 2,000 people marching through her village.
Yeah,
Well,
I can
it's
understand
a lot
that.
better than 4,000 people plundering it.
Yeah.
And the next day, does anybody else have anything else they want to do in Apple Lane? I mean,
Nisk would probably like to spend the evening in the Illyria Temple, if possible.
there is. Oh, you are? Okay.
Why not?
Knock off some money.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's
Alright.
Apple Lane, so there must be plenty of apples. And
Come with me,
there are.
Rast. I think you're.
Well, what time of the year is it?
I'll go with Nisk.
Yeah.
Where's the pawn shop guy? Because that guy usually has a lot of fun stuff, doesn't he? There's a
Pawn shop
reputation.
has been burnt down.
No. Oh, we're after that one. Okay.
I'm going into the inn and have some Apple Lane beef and some apple cake.
Yeah, I'll join Gina for that.
Just to keep in mind, Garen, Nisk and Kolbrest have headed off to the small temple of the goddess of life and fertility.
Yeah, but Garen is wrong there.
I think I'm going to keep my distance. I've got a reputation to protect, even if they.
So Gina,
You have a
Garen,
Nisk to
and
protect
Inkala
too.
are all going to go to the inn, or is Inkala?
I am as wrong as Garen in that temple.
Or is Garen also? Or is Inkala also going to the temple of life?
I actually have my death rune at, I think it's 75. So I'm also kind of death aspected.
So
Yeah, no,
these three-
77. 77.
We have a good drink in the pub, in the inn.
These three, they have a grim, dour drink. You know.
No, it's not grim because isn't in this weird pool
The poet, and basically,
telling us sad poems.
Oh no,
Yes,
the Orlanthi poems. Oh my God, no.
meanwhile, Nisk and Kolbrest inside. This is the temple to the goddess of love, and not only that, but it has a bath. It has a steam area. It has people that will play. That will talk to you and have witty conversations with you, and basically spend the as much as time as you can to basically remind you that there is a world other than war and death and destruction.
Oh, that's a good relief after all this traveling with 3 deaf people, sort of,
Yeah, well, I'm not. My death
Timely
aspect isn't so much
reminder.
as anti-life. It's just the spirits and stuff, you know.
Why would you want to talk about it?
77%.
Kolbrest, here's the best thing. There's not only witty conversation, there's massages with oil, steam baths,
Yeah,
and good
yeah,
wine.
it's all fine, and some apple cider too, I guess.
Absolutely. Good apple cider.
Good call, Nisk. Almost like the old days when we were pirates following
Exactly.
Argrath and Harrick, pillaging and plundering across the continents.
So eventually these two come out of their spa, all looking, totally spa'd up and down to the hair being clean.
Waste of water, and now they don't smell good anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, they smell like flowers.
Yeah, which really,
Mm.
no.
And the three of you all have been listening to sad poetry.
I think I went up and left because no. What is it about Orlanthi and these poetry stuff? I mean, apparently they do it a lot, and there's more of it in Sartar than there is on Prax, because I don't know, but it's boring.
They totally dig their poetry.
It's so boring.
The next day, the army marches onto Runegate, and at Runegate, that is where Lika, Queen of the Kolimar, has mustered over 1,000 militia.
Nice.
It's also where Amalda, the Queen of the Milani, has mustered some 700 militia. And you end up with a bit where there is a gathering of all of the tribal leaders who have shown up here. And you've got the Prince of Sartar. And again, who still in their mind absolutely refuses to call Kalar Prince, even though everybody else calls her Prince.
There's no way I'm calling her Prince.
No.
Well, yeah, I think she's not princely
Not a chance
enough for that.
I'm sorry, but aren't we friends? So why do we have to call her Prince?
We're not friends. Well, Argrath told us not to call her Prince.
Yeah,
But
but
it's
also
the main reason why we don't call her prince. Otherwise, you know.
This
she's
consideration is a
treating
magical
she's
ritual
treating
about-
us as friends. So why do we have to use a title then?
Well, friends, you know.
Yeah,
She
and it's
doesn't
important
have
to
enough of her
remember-
own friends, so she.
Friend is amongst the Orlanthi. That doesn't mean buddy. Friend means folk that when you say somebody is your friend, it means that it's somebody that you have reciprocal close obligations to that is not related by kinship. So friend of the prince is actually, that's an office. That's a title.
Mm.
Also, in our case, it's a bit of a keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Yeah.
Like a little
Yeah,
bit.
probably.
So
So
you have a meeting in Runegate, and you have a meeting you have the queen of the Keldon tribe, the so-called Prince of Sartar. You have the queen of the Kinsina tribe, Ivartha Wolfkiller. And she's a tough middle-aged woman, burly and scarred from fighting against the Telmori werewolves. And she's shown up with 600 warriors. You've got Ranulf, who interestingly is the only male tribal leader in this assembly. Ranulf leads the Colbrea tribe, and it's clear that he despises Ivartha. You've got Amalda, who is the queen of the Milani. She's the youngest one of the leaders present, but she is the niece of Sarastip Coldeye. Do you remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
The great sword lord.
He's here.
She's his niece.
One of my heroes.
And she is also an initiate of Humacht.
Oh, you found your love.
I've not, because I can know not love.
I know your version of it.
but you would have.
So you
I'm getting
mutual-
jealous. I'm getting jealous.
And then you have Queen Leica Blackspear, who is, and Leica and Kaller clearly have no love lost between the two of them.
Yep.
And so you have this meeting of the 5 tribes there in Rimgate. And of course, you're allowed to participate and be present here. And if you could imagine, the male equivalent in the business world is you get all these alpha males trying to have a fight there to figure out the pecking order here. But this is all alpha females. And it basically, the fight is between Leica and Kaller of who is the top dog. And it is clear that these two women have a long history with each other and dislike each other intensely.
Yeah. Can I do a battle roll to see if this will in any way impede our chances for success?
Hell, it will.
Please roll for it.
Yeah, that's a 15. It's a special.
Okay. If Leica, the thing is Leica is providing about a quarter of the people present here, but about 3/4 of the people are following Kaller, either directly or indirectly. And if a quarter of an army refuses to follow the leader, that's not good.
That's not good, yeah.
But it's also clear they both dislike each other. Do you tell this to any of your other companions here?
Yeah, sure. I more or less dubbed him.
Pretty obvious, but yes.
Yep.
If only we had some people in the group with harmony that could help deal with these issues.
That
Help
would be
settle it.
brilliant.
Can't we
You're all the
frighten
same
them
when you're
into
dead or
work?
something.
Can't we frighten them into working together?
Yeah.
Instead of staging a nightmare dream or something.
I have Earth Rune.
So
Actually, sorry. I have Harmony. I have Harmony at 85.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
it's
brilliant.
amazing.
Yes.
It's like Philip had no idea of that.
No, we did no.
I have Fertility on 5, but I have Harmony on 85 because, of course, this is part of the dancing because I have to get the ghost into harmony and settle down and go down.
And you've used it quite a few times, so
Actually, I have.
And she does like the peaceful grave.
Yes.
So tell me if there's anything you're going to try to do to bring harmony here. Now, keep in mind, Claudia, and I want to just knock something completely out of this. Tyler Starbrow has been to the sky and the underworld.
Yes.
You're not going to intimidate her in the slightest.
No.
Leica Blackspear did her crown test by going into Snake Pipe Hollow. Do you think there's anything you can do that would intimidate her in the slightest?
I do not want to intimidate her.
Okay.
So I try actually to approach it from a logical point of view. It is actually, I mean, you guys are frenemies. So, but there's actually a bigger enemy. For that, you have to work together and live or die together in a way. So whichever way, as long as you win this battle, everything is good. Everything is in harmony. And so I know that you actually have experienced a lot. And at some point, sooner or later, you will sit at the table of my goddess, feast together, drink together, or even shout at each other, but you will be there. So to prepare the path, you should work together now.
Okay, it sounds like you have some sort of a social skill that's being augmented by your harmony rune.
Yes, this is called, my social skill is called
social skill.
singing,
Preparing thoughts is a social skill, isn't it?
partying with dancing.
How good is your orate?
I have my glasses not on. I think it's 35.
Let's see
30.
if your harmony
It's 30. 30. So my orate is it is no, I use it with my worship of Taikoratek. No.
I'll let you first roll on your harmony rune to get your augment.
No, I could use first aid on them. I mean, this is so untypical for me, you know.
We know, that's why it's supposed to be hard. It's a good thing.
So shall I roll first on my harmony?
First roll for your harmony rune.
Okay, I roll my harmony and then I see what I do next. I rolled a 71 on an 85. I succeeded.
Okay, add 20.
To climb?
No.
To spirit. Do I have to do it on all right? Oh God, guys.
Is there a reconcile skill?
No. I have 20 on my orate, and my orate is now on 50, and I rolled a 74.
All right, they ignore you.
Okay, if that doesn't work, I'll try to get to Kalia in a not now obviously when everyone is watching, but later on, and sort of more from a tactical perspective, share my thoughts on how stupid it is to show openly her sort of disdain for Laker, and that she should probably do exactly the opposite.
Okay, you're using a social skill. Tell me what it is.
No, it's not a social skill. It's also the battle skill. It's basically just telling her, look, if you want this to succeed, you have to change your attitude.
Your strategical approach.
Yeah.
Because it's better.
Or your strategic approach.
I will accept battle as an augment to something.
Okay.
And I would let it augment. Do you have a loyalty to Kalar Starbrow I was unaware of?
No. I don't have a secret loyalty to Kalar Starbrow. I think that much is
I was
pretty
giving
obvious.
you the chance, but no.
No, I don't.
Fast talk, orate.
Just a second. Oh, God. Okay. Orate is 35.
You're also not better than I am.
No.
He is.
Now we know why you have Niscast do this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Bargain is even worse.
Just don't ask me to deal with the corpses or anything.
Yeah, I'll have to try with Orate, I guess.
All right. So first roll your battle to augment it.
Yep. Normal
Hey,
success.
55% chance, Philip. Do it, man. 0-1, right?
Yeah, 69. No.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
full rest.
So you have an issue here.
Yep.
That these two queens dislike each other intensely. Yes. Now,
Yeah.
Linda.
May I, in some way, do the dance of the spiders in order to just let them know how important it is to beat the Lunars this time because the web is shattering? And to do it in unison. All for Grandmother Spider.
Okay, so Inkala's grand idea at this point is to have a
We're so pitiful.
Very willing to go and just.
Now is the point that we do interpretive dance. Now is the time.
I tried that before. You didn't let me.
It was the wrong dance.
There is another way to talk about this, by the way. You're all going about it all wrong.
I'm gonna let Neil keep talking as I don't turn off the recording. Yeah. You guys plot this out.
Hearts and minds. Yes. This is about winning people's emotionally. This is about convincing them that this is the reason you fight for. This is the reason you're willing to die and you're willing to go to the table of go earlier perhaps in Taikora Tech than you would do otherwise.
I'd say right.
So you can orate this like in a big speech, and Gina and I can dance to emphasize it.
Or I can use my loyalty starter.
Yeah,
I can even sing to it.
Yeah, but I mean we can dance. I can dance my webbing dance.
I actually have some other augments I'm going to be able to wield. I think that are not
what? You don't want us to dance? Is that your problem? We love
I don't think it's the right moment to do the spider dance. I think that would be a dark kind of,
Yeah, but it's a dark, but it is a dark.
Here's your other thing, right? Do a darkness dance against Kalir, Scott,
but it's not necessarily. No, it's not.
Darkness person.
It's not necessarily a darkness dance. Spiders are out all day and all night.
I think she pretty thinks it's
and Arachne Solara is often depicted with like flames and like flaming hair.
They stole fire.
Yeah.
I can play my castagnettes if you want to support the clickety clack.
I think we'll just let Nisk save the day on his own.
I fine. Now, to do this, I'm going to give a couple of gifts.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the shield that we got, the big thing shield. You're looking.
Oh, so if they have to carry the shield together, then they'll sort of bond.
No.
Brilliant.
All right, so
here's a shield you can only use
it
and carry it together. That would be brilliant.
All right.
You see it, Leica and Kalar just.
So Jeff, I think I'm going to try and do an oration and bring them together if I can.
Okay.
I would like to use What I'd like to do is augment with loyalty Sartor and remember why they are all here, and they're here to forge a nation, and that's more important than the other pieces. He is going to give gifts. He will give Kalir the giant iron shield that used to fight the dragon, and for Leica he will give a dragon's tooth. And he will admit that
Wow, so you're giving her a gift.
He's only come back to this, and it saddens him to see his homeland like this, just like as Argrath told him, because Argrath was also born in Sartor and raised there. And our focus is to put aside these differences, because the Lunars are not fighting this way. The Unars are doing some, and if we let them do that, they will win.
Right. So you're
Here.
You're giving a gift of what?
I'm going to give that shield we got.
The giant one?
To Kalir. And I'm going to give the dragon tooth to Leica.
Wow, these are huge gifts.
Yes, they are. The point is, I'm coming this as the outsider, effectively emissary of Argrath, to show that how we need to do this to work together to drive the Lunars out. They did. That's how it happened before.
If you're really giving that much of a gift, I'm going to give you a plus 40 to your chance of success.
Well, let's go for my loyalty first, which succeeds barely. It's not a.
So add 60 to your orate.
Okay, that's a pretty good chance. Unless I roll a 90, whatever, I can't fail. That's an 11.
That is a special success.
Yes.
It's not a critical.
No.
You don't have a 200% chance.
You said how much? 60?
What?
I was adding 60, so that's 170.
All right. It is a remonstration. It's actually it's kind of insulting to both Kalir and Leica in this. You know, this is one of these bits where the Emperor has no clothes, and both agree in this. In all of this, gifts have been given, etc. Both agree to bury the hatchet between them and to make pledges of friendship and support. You know, how deep these pledges are is anybody's question, but there's a bit where they clearly are, that after this make an effort to show that they are on the same team, and where Leica agrees that Kalir is the prince.
Whoa! That's okay. It's ironic because we don't, but
yes.
But
the other bit of news is that on the other side of the creek, there are lunar scouts have been seen. Lunar horse. And so I'm going to show you if the host would enable participant screen sharing.
Why can't you set that? It can't default to that for a specific call.
Oh, it drives me.
I could make you the host, but then we'd be waiting for you. Should be good.
Okay. Do you see RuneGate here?
Yep.
Lunar scouts have been seen on the north bank of the Two Sisters. These are two villages, one on each side of the creek. And that is clearly the advance for the Lunar Army. So there is discussion between Leica and Keller, and their plan is to move the entire Sardarite army to the edges of Old Top. Do you see where Old Top is? This hill here?
Mhm.
And from there, the Sardarites can take a defensible position, and it's not possible for the Lunars to march around them. Is their assessment of this. And if the Lunars do try to march around them, then the Sardarites can charge on their side. And so it will force a battle at Old Top, and one where the Sardarites can take a prepared defensive position. And they both discuss this, and they both both agree that this seems to be a good plan. I don't know if your characters have any negative reaction to that or not.
What does my battle skill say?
I mean, taking the high ground is, or at least having access to the high ground, is always a sound tactic.
Can I,
The weight of numbers at the moment seems to be on the Lunar side. Allowing yourself to potentially be trapped there is risky, but it's probably going on, if that's where their scouts have been seen,
Well, and the other
probably the best option.
The other advantage too is that they're going to have to have to do a river crossing.
You might, I might personally, I think you'd want to hold the river and attack them there.
but it's a time issue.
Make them come into, if they're going to do it, they're going to have to cross the river, and you're going to be waiting on the other side for them.
Problem is, you have already scouts coming over, so you will not be there.
No,
in
they were
time.
spotted on the other side, weren't they?
Yeah.
They're on the north side. So
Okay.
If we could get there in time, you could make that particularly
march everyone to here.
How far is this away from the river?
Well, look here. Here's the great thing.
Oh, great. Wow, what a brilliant invention. Okay, so that's about a mile.
The thing is, they can easily go around the river, can they?
It's a long way.
No, it's not. The thing is, look at it.
Where are they going to go?
Where they're going to have to cross through a load of
There's
marshland.
a ford at the Two Sisters. That's where you could. That's the nearest ford. The next ford upriver is maybe 20-30 kilometers upriver.
Yeah, but how bad is the marshland? Can't they go down on the left side?
That's Delecti's Marsh.
Oh, ooh, vampires.
Yeah, they're terrible for Tychor attack. They escape her table.
I love to go there. I have my spell turn.
So does anybody object to that as the plan? Because Caller's proposal is to march immediately everything to the edge of Old Top.
I think that's sound, and then you could send advance guards to the Two Sisters to try and contest the crossing.
So the other question is, how dangerous is this marsh? Apart from the...
Well, 20 years ago, when the Lunars came, thousands of zombies marched out of the marsh in alliance with the Lunars. Thousands of them. And pinned the Sardarite army in Ringate so that the Crimson Bat could come and devour the entire army in one place.
So what does, maybe they do the same again. So actually
that is what people have anxiety for.
That's what
maybe you want a part of the army to go around through the marsh.
You don't want to send anybody into the marsh.
But this is why we need the ducks involved.
Yeah, but the ducks aren't here.
No, but can we get a message to ducks? Because they're the only ones who can actually move freely through the marsh and do something about the zombies.
The ducks are several days away from here. The
How
lunars are, just to give you an idea, if the scouts are here, you can assume that the main lunar army is probably about here.
stupid question. Turn undead is a how many point rune spell?
I don't know what's written down on your character sheet for it.
Nothing.
Do you have turn undead?
Yes.
Okay, well then turn undead I think is either a 1 or a 2 point spell.
Garen has it too, I think.
It's a 1 point spell.
Okay, and how many can I turn with one spell? 1,000 per spell?
1.
And so I need 1,000 rune points for 1,000 zombies?
Yes.
That's not fair.
And how big are the two sisters? These two villages
Two
or
little
towns?
villages. They're
Very
two
small.
little villages, but it is and in fire season, you can easily walk across the creek there. Just walk across it. It's a ford. It's an easy fording place. That's why you have a village on it. It's basically a small village on either side that sits on the crossing of, and it's a ford that it's fordable year round. It's now fire season, so this is when the river is lower. So it is an easy crossing place.
What's the weather like?
Well, it's fire season, so roll some percent. I'm going to roll some percentile dice. I don't trust people.
I don't know what the table's like. So
Now he tells us.
I don't trust anybody. And Rich, how are you doing for time, my friend?
We can keep going.
It is sunny and clear.
Damn. We can, because one of the things you could do is when they're crossing is if we have enough priests, we could summon the weather over it and then hit them with a deluge of rain as they try to cross.
I also think if the part of the problem was the zombies trapping people in Roomgate, at least at Old Top, you'd be able to see them coming, and you could have a relatively orderly retreat. And because the river would protect you on one of your flanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
As long as you just we can't get surrounded, because then we'll end up like the Romans at Cannae. But as long as that doesn't happen.
How passable is the terrain east of Old Top?
They're hills. They're rough hills.
So not much of a problem to.
What's the chaos ground there?
Well, Chaos Ground is where the Crimson Bat bled.
Oh.
It is considered a haunted and bad place. You will want to avoid it.
The other thing we've really got to remember is we have to be very judicial with our ability to reduce the glow line when it comes.
Yeah.
So basically, your line, you all will form up. Kalar is going to march everyone over to Runegate, where you will form up about a 2-kilometer front right here. And that's where all your camps are. And on the other side, you can start seeing the campfires right here of the Lunar Army.
And do we see any suspicious characters that look like people who might belong to the College of Magic or something like that?
Yeah. What about a night raid on the college? Try and take some of them out before they get to the battlefield.
Is that honorable, Garen?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. That's a legitimate tactic.
Yeah.
How good are you at?
It's not an ambush either.
How good are you at making night raids into camps of thousands of people where you have no intelligence of?
That I don't know, but it's a tactic.
I believe the answer is not very good.
There must be people in the army who are bad at me.
Importantly, there is no gigantic, floating, glowing bat demon
That is
in the
that's
army.
a plus.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, they usually dress quite ornamentally and are easily picked out of the crowd. So I was just wondering, are there any such people visible when we look across the board?
From Old Top, this will be the last skill roll I let for tonight, but I'll allow people to make a scan roll.
I'll cast Farsi 3 first.
Oh, that's an excellent idea.
Hmm.
You can cast it on all of us too if you want.
Failed another
Yes.
scan roll.
I'll cast it on Nisk.
Scan.
Yes. I only have 45% to do it.
I failed them. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll roll my scan as well.
Nope.
Yes, 17. It's irregular because I suck. But
Parsley just gives you distance, right? It doesn't increase your scan roll, right?
no, it just gives you distance.
Yeah.
And
So
gives you a lot more information.
Yeah.
Exceed, you get a lot more information. It just doesn't increase your chance of success.
Mm.
All right. There are thousands of lunars.
Mm.
How many you don't really know. You're not really good at it. Yeah, I'll let you make a battle roll for that in color.
Okay. Okay. Can I augment it with my hate lunar?
No.
No. Okay. 05, I special.
Wow. Okay. You think it is roughly comparable in size, in numbers, to everything that Keller has managed to assemble here. So she's managed to assemble a little bit over 4,000 warriors. You think there's a little bit more than 4,000 soldiers at Two Sisters. They're lunars, and it's a lunar army. And they are organized, whereas the at Old Top, the camps are all, it's basically clan and kinship group, and everything is organized. Over on the other side at Two Sisters, there seems to be a lot of organization.
Well, they're professional soldiers. We have a lot of militia in this, right?
Hmm.
And Carla, any suspicious characters? I mean, we've all been at, what was it,
We've
End of
seen-
Ruin.
Yeah, we've seen creator makers before. Do we see any creator makers? Groups?
You can see that there are sable antelope. There are a lot of horsemen and sable riders, but they don't look like Praxians, the sable riders. And there are there's a lot of hoplite soldiers, wearing the full outfit of everything.
Mm.
And there look like there's some tough professional soldiers in this army. This is not a mostly militia army.
Is there still such a thing as heat metal?
It's a spirit magic spell.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on large numbers of people.
No, but you can melt one armor, right?
Sometimes if it's enchanted, if it's rune metal, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lousy, heat metal is actually kind of a lousy offensive spell. It also takes a long time to work. I think this is where we're going to end tonight, is the evening camp on Old Top. As you can see right across, just maybe 2-3 kilometers away, there are thousands of lunar soldiers camped out at around the Two Sisters. And I think this is a good place to stop for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We all good with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Sure.
And with that, we will tune in next week because I think we're going to have a battle on our hand.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Yep.